Welcome back to Understanding Human Anatomy and our discussion of the peritoneal cavity. This will be the last video discussing the formation of the peritoneal cavity. And I'll start, as I have the other cross sections, by sketching in the body wall. And again, a vertebra, an aorta, next to it would be the inferior vena cava, kidneys, and then sketch in the spleen. And we're going to have the stomach opening into the duodenum. Here. And then the liver we're getting down lower in the liver, so it's relatively gotten much smaller than it was in the previous diagrams. So putting in some labels. We have the kidney. We have the spleen. There. We have the stomach. And I'm just going to put a capital D for the beginning of the duodenum. Over here we will have the liver. Now, another structure that I have to draw in is the pancreas. And the pancreas sits here right at the beginning of the duodenum. And it's also retroperitoneal. There. Right there. And the pancreas is retroperitoneal. So, I will now sketch in the peritoneum. And I'm going to start in the area of the lesser sac. Come along here like so. Get half of the splenorenal ligament, half of the gastrosplenic ligament, and then the visceral peritoneum of the stomach. Again, the peritoneum associated with the pancreas would be parietal peritoneum. Then we'll start over here on the dorsal wall, visceral peritoneum of the stomach, gastrosplenic ligament, around the spleen, splenorenal ligament, around the body wall like so. Falciform ligament we had, come back around the liver, the other side of the falciform ligament, and then around the body wall like so, to complete the picture. And again, this is the omental bursa. In pink is the omental bursa, and it does extend inferior to the epiploic foramen, and of course the inferior border of the omental bursa will be determined by the duodenum. So let me label the ligaments. So a falciform ligament, the gastrosplenic ligament, and the splenorenal ligament. Okay, and then one last cross section and we're done. And this next cross section is going to be below the level of the omental bursa, inferior to the bottom of the omental bursa. So, in this final cross section, we're going to be inferior to the kidneys. So again, I'll draw the body wall in. Again, we'll put in a vertebra. And we'll draw in an aorta. And an inferior vena cava. Now, in this diagram, I'm going to represent the small intestine with just a couple of sections. And then we're going to have the ascending colon and the descending colon attached to the body wall. They're secondarily retroperitoneal. So let me put in some labels. And over here for the ascending colon, we'll just use an AC to represent it. Descending colon, a DC to represent that. And the loops of small intestine, as I say, there's many more, but I'm just going to draw in a couple of them. We'll put an SI on them. Since they are out in peritoneal, they would not be the duodenum, so they'll be either the jejunum or the ileum, most likely the jejunum. Okay. And then I will draw in the peritoneum. So we're going to come out like so, and we're going to have the mesentery. The mesentery is the mesentery of the small intestine. Draw that in like so. Again, the descending colon is retroperitoneal. Around the body wall here. And over to here. Again, this mesentery which is the mesentery of the small intestine, is called very simply the mesentery. We'll draw a line to it. And we have one more structure to draw in. And that is the greater omentum. And we'll draw the greater omentum here. And we'll put a label on it. And again, remember that the greater omentum develops as an outgrowth of the dorsal mesogastrum, and it actually, during development, would have part of the omental bursa, part of the lesser sac inside. But as it grows to maturity, the peritoneum lining the lesser sac portion of the greater omentum wear away, and it becomes fused in just a single sheet of peritoneal tissue. So that completes our discussion of the peritoneal cavity. Thank you for your attention.